it's worth reiterating this, and maybe it's a matter, it's close to my heart because it's quite central to the therapy I particularly practice, rational and emotive therapy. But learning to tolerate discomfort or increasing our frustration tolerance is I think really important when we're trying to change behaviour, because lots of particularly kind of what I would call health behaviours like overeating or drinking too much, they can result from just always wanting to satisfy an urge in the present moment. We know we don't want to change tomorrow or in the future, but in the present moment we want to be satisfied and not feel uncomfortable. But actually sitting with a bit of discomfort, whilst also, we talked earlier about having quick wins, quick fixes, little things you can do to get over a hump. But if you can just tolerate a bit of discomfort, and that's all it will be, because you fancy a drink and you're not going to have one, you will learn that you can cope with it, and it will actually become less uncomfortable as well, because you'll learn what else you can do with your life to make yourself feel better, and to make yourself feel relaxed, or to make yourself feel less angry or less stressed, because alcohol is only one way that people have learnt to cope with those things, but there are other ways. Some people don't drink and they also know how to relax. So it's about,
it is possible.
It is about accepting some discomfort. It's not going to kill you, but you can also find other ways of satisfying some of the feelings you have that you don't like, such as frustration or tiredness or stress or anxiety. There's lots of other ways people cope with those things.
And we can come on to that idea around planning for that in just a minute, when I work out which slide it is that I've done it on. This is about planning.
This is.
I put Whoop in here.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah. This is a simple daily, what I would always use as a daily routine, particularly for the first few weeks of your month and going forward. And this particular strategy is based upon a substantial body of like academic research, but it's finally got quite a catchy name, which makes a nice acronym called Wish, Outcome, Obstacle and Plan. And the purpose of this is to state what it is you want to achieve, a simple goal that you want to achieve. For example, I want to have an alcohol-free day today. I don't want to drink today. That's your wish. That's what you hope to achieve by the end of the day. The O for outcome relates to really, and an important part of this is to kind of really visualise what it is you're going to benefit, the benefits of doing that. So what outcomes are going to occur for you, personal outcomes as a result of not drinking today, and keep it very specific.
So if I don't drink today, I'll have enough energy to get through work tomorrow. Or
today, depending on when you normally drink. Or if I don't drink, not drinking today will mean that at the end of work I will go to the gym, and then when I'll get home and I will be really proud of myself. That's a very positive outcome for people. It may be, I will be just one step closer to having an alcohol-free week, and I'm going to be treating myself today because it's treat day. I'm going to go to my favourite store and buy myself an expensive beauty item, or for example, or shoes or cake.
I think she might have just pulled on all three of my trigger points.
Yeah. But it's about visualising and really imagining those positive outcomes happening. We're not talking about outcomes at the end of the month. We're talking about an outcome for today that's really important to you, and that isn't what other people think is the outcome. It's what you personally think is a good outcome. Obstacle is then looking at, well, okay, I want this, and this is why it would be brilliant to achieve it. But let's face it, there will be obstacles today. I've got a meeting with my manager, and that always makes me really stressed. Or it's Thursday, and everyone from work always goes out on Thursdays, and 20 people will ask me if I'm going to the pub. It could be there's a wedding reception. It could be I know it will be, I'll be going home and I'll be going through the supermarket because I've run out of milk, and that's always where I buy my wine, so I'm probably going to have an urge. These are possible obstacles for you, what's happening in your day, and you need to really visualise your day ahead to see what might be an obstacle. And then P, obviously, you then need to plan and have a strategy for what you will do for that obstacle, which may be avoid it, maybe controlling it with different strategies, maybe having a plan to escape, maybe planning a white lie to tell your colleagues. What am I going to say when all of my 20 colleagues ask me if I'm going to the pub? Okay, I'll say I'm picking somebody up from the airport, I'm going to have to go. It's a white lie. If you don't like lying, don't lie. But if you're comfortable with white lies, that's a possible
One of
plan.
our members gave up before Christmas, which I think is a really brave thing to do. And she gave up at the point she was starting a new job as well. So we're starting 2 weeks before Christmas and decided to give up. And she said, she kept messaging me every day saying, there's alcohol in the office today, there's alcohol in the office today, they're going to the pub again today. And in the end, she got into a routine of saying, actually, I've just got a few things I want to finish. So she'd go to the pub later than them, which meant that she also got her own drink. And then she also left a bit earlier, and that ended up being her strategy. But there was no more difficult time for her to test herself, and and now she's on day 20 or something, and so Brilliant. We're very proud of her. But she did exactly that. She foresaw the obstacles, and she found small little things. And it's true, you can always work later. That's never a lie.
No, that's not a lie, and it also means you then get to attend the thing, but you're more in control of it.
Yeah.
And there are so many different plans or strategies you could have to cope with your own unique obstacles. And this, we're not going to cover them all here, but this routine really means, what do you want to achieve? What's going to be great about achieving it? What could stand in your way of achieving it today? Be really critical and ruthless about that. And, okay, what am I going to do assuming those things happen?
And if you can do that in the morning, it really does put you in a stronger position for the rest of the day. Yeah. Your chances of sticking to your plan are far greater because you've already anticipated this. And if it happens, you can go, I knew this was coming and I've got a plan for it. Whereas if something comes out the blue, you're less likely to know what you will do. But actually, if you've thought of a number of scenarios and you've got a backup plan, that really helps.
And if you can rehearse this, if you can rehearse the event happening, like mentally rehearse a person asking if you're going to the pub, mentally rehearse yourself saying your, whatever your excuse for not going is. If you can rehearse it in your mind, you're far more likely to actually do it when the time comes. Because if we don't plan for things, we're going to be slaves to the present moment. And in the present moment, we're normally going to want to just say yes or give in to an urge or not feel uncomfortable. But if we know we're going to feel uncomfortable, if we know we're going to have a niggle at 7 o'clock at night, because we normally have our first glass of wine then, and it's a programme on telly that we want to watch, accept you're going to have an urge, accept you're going to feel uncomfortable, and plan to have a long bath and go to bed if that's what you're going to need to do. But imagine it could happen, and imagine yourself responding to it differently.
Excellent.